Imagine checking your bank account every month and seeing money show up from companies you own. That is the power of dividend investing. And this is what I've been doing for years. Sometimes I just wake up, I say a lot, dividend income, dividend income, dividend income. And my name is Tammy, and I'm a fire strategist, financial independence, retire early strategist with over 20 years in finance and investment banking. In this video, I'm going to show you how to design a dividend portfolio to pay you every month, a step-by-step guide of creating a consistent passive income to support your lifestyle and help you to retire early. Isn't that lovely? So let's go. What are you going to be learning from this video? Firstly, you're going to be learning what are dividends and how do they work? How do you pick the right dividend stocks or the right ETFs? How do you structure your portfolio to pay you every month so that your dividend stocks will just be like your monthly income, like your monthly income, your money working for you every month, and you're able to see your income every month. So what are the tax smart strategies also? What are the tools? The tools that you can use to track and manage everything. Let's jump right in. And first and foremost, I want to tell you that dividend investing is something that I've been doing for years and I get paid every month. So whatever I'm going to be telling you in this video is something that is real, not something that an AI generated for me or something. It's something that is real, it's something that is consistent with me, it's something that I've been earning dividend income every month. So what are dividend portfolios? A dividend portfolio is a collection of stocks, collection of ETFs. And what are ETFs? ETFs are exchange traded funds. So instead of saying I want to buy a single stock, ETF is like an umbrella over so many stocks, like so many stocks. You can have maybe McDonald's, Amazon, Tesla. Having an ETF is just a collection of stocks. Like you're not, it helps you to mitigate the risk of buying just one stock. Instead of just buying a stock, like just buying only Tesla, you're buying an ETF that is covering probably the magnificent seven of probably Tesla, Amazon, Meta, Google. You're buying an ETF that's covering everything. So invariably, if a stock goes down, all the other stock will not go down. They'll be able to balance each other. That's what just ETF is for. So what are dividend portfolio? Your dividend portfolio is a collection of those stocks and also your ETFs or funds that regularly pay out a portion of their earnings to investors. What do they do? If you buy a stock of a company, like maybe McDonald's now, so McDonald's will be paying you out when McDonald's make income or probably profit every year. So they'll pay their investors probably every quarter, like paying, they're not paying from the share prices, they are paying from the income they have earned, the profit they have generated over a certain amount of time. They are paying it to just say, okay, thank you, investors, for investing in us, and all that. And they probably invest the rest back and all that. Those are the dividend stocks that you buy that pay out dividends. That's what they usually do. So they pay out a certain percentage of their income, of the profit that they have made over some certain amount of time. They pay it back to their investors, say thank you for holding us, thank you for having a little slice of our company and all that. How often does the stocks pay out dividends? Now, some company pay out every month, some pays out every quarter, and some pays out yearly. So think of it as owning a little slice of a company that pay you for holding them. You hold a little slice of a company that pay you for holding them, saying thank you for holding us and all that. And the goal is for you to have a passive income, passive and reliable income. For you to have a passive and reliable income. Something that comes in consistently as long as the company is viable, as long as the company is alive. So dividends are often paid from profit and not from stock prices, just like I've said before. And you know, for you to have this consistent income every month or every quarter, before you even go into the stocks in the first place, you have to do your due diligence. Okay, and that's why sometimes it's also very good for you to go into probably ETFs that are paying dividends and all that. So I'm going to be listing some of the ETFs that are paying dividends here, and also you can also click on the link in my introduction to see my ebook that I've actually put together. My ebook I've actually put together like 50 organizations and ETFs that pays dividends every month. Is actually a good ebook for you. A lot of people have bought this ebook and they are generating income every month, as in every month. You don't have to wait for every quarter. It pays every month. So you can also do yours also. Click the link in the bio and see the dividend stocks that are paying every month. So what are the strategies that I actually use? So one is that I have my calendar. So my calendar, if an ETF pays me every quarter, if it pays me January, April, July, and October, I've already covered those 4 months. I'm going to have another set of stocks or ETFs that will be paying me February, May, August, November, and I'm going to have another set also that will be paying me March, June, September, December. In fact, I have structured my dividend portfolio in such a way that I get dividend every week. I get dividend payments every week in such a way. That's actually a long stretch. But I also do that. I get dividend at least almost every week. If not every week, maybe every 2 weeks and all that. It's just a matter of structure. You aim for the rotation. So if a dividend pay me, if a dividend stock pay me in January, invariably, if I've arranged my group of ABC stocks, another one should pay me in February, another one should pay me in March, another one should pay me, and that's the way it goes. So you have to be able to pick. So if you don't know the stocks you want to pick, you can just click the link in my bio to just check that ebook out, and you'll be able to see, okay, this one pays this month and this month. And if you don't know anything about probably all this dividend stocks and all that, you can easily go to Dividend Max, as you are seeing on your screen. Dividend Max will be able to tell you, okay, the ex dividend date for that, because we have what we call ex dividend date, which means that that's the last date in which you can actually pay money for a stock, to buy a stock that you'll be eligible for the dividend payment. So you must actually know that, so that you will not even. There's so many factors actually to consider when you are investing, when you are doing dividend investing. Apart from probably the ex dividend date, then you need to be able to reach the ex dividend date. Most of the time, the investment goes up, the share prices goes up, and at the time. That's not the time for you to even be able to buy. Once they announce the ex dividend date, the share prices continue to go up, and after the ex dividend date, it comes down, and it's marked down. So some people actually buy at that time if they don't want the dividends and all that. So they sell once the prices have already gone up and all that. So there are so many criteria, so many things to actually think about. But just to make it simple. So I'm not running after when it is marked down. I'm not running after when the prices are up, because what I want in my dividend stocks is for me to be able to actually enjoy dividend income. You understand? So what I just do is that, just to make sure that I don't buy it when the prices are so high, because sometimes I use like a range of maybe like 3 months to just check that, okay, the prices of this, what's the range of the price of this stock and all that. And this kind of stock, I do my due diligence to check the company's health, to do my due diligence and all that, especially if they are not ETFs and all that. So I just check over the range of time, how long has this company been paying dividends, and how many times have they increased their payments of dividends and all that. How many times have their share prices been dropping or been increasing, and their dividend income, has it been growing or has it been reducing? All these things are just checklists for you to be able to check and all that. But seriously speaking, it could be so complicated at times, but you can make it so simple. That's the truth of the matter. And that's why I've so much simplified it in my ebook. All the dividend stocks that you are seeing there, they are just very good dividend stocks. You see the dividend aristocrats there, you see the ETFs there, you see the REITs there, and all that. They have so much been simplified into that ebook. You can go and get it. So first of all, you choose your dividend calendar, you choose your ETFs or your stocks that will pay you in different months. Then you do the group rotation. The group A pays you this 4 month, the group A pays you that 4 months and all that. Just like I have in your group A, you can have PepsiCo, you can have Reality Income. Reality Income actually pays every month. Then the group A, you can have G&J, that's Johnson and Johnson. You can have Main Street. Main Street also pays every month. And your group C, you can have like McDonald's and the Stag. And let me tell you, by the time you have this group A, B, and C, because uh, Johnson and Johnson, and McDonald's, they pay every quarter. You understand? And if you can ask, and now group that with a company that pays every month, that means you're going to be paid every month. And there are some certain months that your payment will also spike up because of the quarterly payments also. In building your portfolio, what are the things to consider? Let's go through the step-by-step process. The step one is to define your income goal. If you watch any of my video, I always like to know the destination. I always like to define, okay, what is the retirement fund? Or probably what is your goal? What is your financial goal? Because you see, when you don't know it, sincerely speaking, you'll just be working haphazardly, and you will not be able to reach. You don't even know when you have scored. You don't even know when you are going towards your goal, because you don't have that goal in mind. You can't just say, okay, let me just be saving maybe like £500 or 500 every month. What is actually your goal? So define your income goal. Is it to earn like 500 per month, or $500 per month, or to earn like maybe $600 per month? Okay, let's go with the example of maybe $500 per month. That's like $6,000 in a year. So for an average yield of 4%, you will need like 150,000 invested in any of the your dividend portfolio, to be able to say, okay, what we mean by that, like the average yield is that the dividend yield. Define your income goal. Example, okay, probably your income goal is to be able to generate $500 every month. That's like $6,000 every year. So the average dividend yield that you might be considering, maybe like 4%. So if you say 4%, like dividend yield of 4%, so that means you have like $150,000 in your investment account. Second step is to choose a strong dividend paying stocks. Dividend yield of between 3% to 6% is actually ideal. Once is very high, it's very risky. It's not as if you can't do it, but it's also very risky. So it's good for you to take some little risk because life cannot be without risk, but at least minimize the risk that you're going to use to pay to invest in high yield dividend income. So the dividend yield of between 3 to 6% is very ideal. So check for the dividend history. Look for consistently, look for growth, look for the dividends aristocrats and all that. And look for the payout ratio. Like payout ratio of under 70% is preferred. Payout ratios means that the percentage of their returns that are actually paid out. You don't want a company that is paying out 100% payout ratio because that's like a red flag and all that. So a payout ratio of 70% is actually preferred. Then mix the sector. What sectors are you looking at? Mix the consumable staples, consumer staples, utilities, mix it with REITs, mix it with healthcare, mix it with energy, mix it with IT, mix it with all these AI chips and all that. Just have a mix, diversify your portfolio, to be able to have a feel of every of this sector and all that. Thirdly, consider the ETF, the dividend paying ETFs like the Schwab, like the Vanguard, the JP Morgan and all that. You have a lot of them. If you check my book, you see a lot of them there. A lot of the dividend paying ETFs. It's always good to have that paying dividend ETFs. It gives you a cover, it gives you leverage, it mitigates risk and all that. Then step four, which is the most important step, is that you reinvest back at first because the temptation is there when you are earning dividend income that it's like a free money when you wake up every day and you see money, you see dividend income. You have to first of all invest it back. At least reinvest it back for some time for you to buy more shares. So what I do invariably is that when I earn this dividend income, I reinvest it back, I buy more shares, it's increasing the shares. As the number of your shares are increasing, so also your return is increasing because as much shares as much that you have, also your dividend income also is increasing. So at first, sacrifice, be able to buy more shares, add money, buy more shares, buy more of these ETFs paying dividend paying ETFs, buy more of these the dividend stocks that are paying, to increase since your target is probably like $500 every month. So you know that you have to do more. You have to do more. You don't have to start with everything together. You don't have to look for the money that will be paying you the $500 together if you don't have it. If you have it, fine. If you don't have it, you just invest over time and reinvest over time and reinvest over time. And later you can now turn off your drip once you have achieved your goal. And now turn off your drip and now make your cash, your dividend income to be your cash pour, to be your cash flow, and you start just enjoying it. I have a lot of tools that I use. I just simplify my life. I have my Excel that I use to track my dividends income every month. So I have the list of the dividends, I have the list of my portfolio, and I put it every month. So it tracks. I've already given myself target. Like this month, at the beginning of each year, I give myself target. Okay, in this month I want to earn so and so. In this month I'm going to earn so and so. And okay, I will now be like, okay, how much money will I be able to invest to be able to generate so and so? Since I already know the dividend yield, since I already know the dividend per share that will be paid, so I already know, okay, if I buy so amount of shares, it's going to give me so amount of money. So what I'm doing is that as I'm earning money, as I'm or as I'm earning, as I'm reinvesting into them, I already know, okay, this particular shares, I'm going to buy maybe 1,000 of these shares. I'm going to buy 2,000 of these shares. Okay, maybe every month I'm buying it by 100, and I know, okay, I've already set it. I've already, made a plan and all that. So it's for me now to work towards that plan. That okay, this particular, how do I achieve maybe £500 every month or £1,000 every month? So that's now my goal. I already have my goal. So how I'm going to get there? I've already structured also how I'm going to get there. So I have my Excel that I've put that in out. I've structured it. I have my plans in place. And what is not only for you to have the goal. You also have to have the plans for you to be able to achieve the goal. So the goal might be okay to be earning £1,000 every month. So what are the plans that I put in place? How many shares are you going to buy every month to be able to achieve this? So those are the things that I use to track. Those are the things I check it every month or every week to say, okay, where am I? Am I growing? Is my dividend increasing? Buying more shares. I already mapped out okay what I'm going to do even in the next 5 years with my dividend portfolio and all that. Also, I need to as you are even trying to calculate maybe your dividend yield and all that, you have to also take into cognizance the taxes. Because if you are investing in dividend stocks, maybe in the US, you have to pay, and you are investing outside US, you have to pay like 30% of your dividend income, as tax and all that. So for whatever it is that you're paying. REITs and some other things are exempted from capital tax and all that, but once they pay you that dividend income, you are going to pay. It's going to be removed from from your dividend income the moment is being paid and all that. So there are some other risks because sometimes the dividend could be cut down, like could be reduced in market downturns. Dividend has to do with the share price. So if the share price goes down, your dividend will go down because your dividend is actually the share price is a factor in calculating your dividend yield. So if your dividend yield is 4% and the share price is maybe is like 4 naira and all that, if you multiply that and you divide it, maybe it's going to be paying you maybe that 4% times four that times £4, that like 16 pounds or thereabout and all that divided by 100 and all that. You divide that if the dividend if it's that's like 0.16. So if the dividend payment is maybe 4 times in a year, you divide that by 4. So assuming now that four naira per share price is now reduced to maybe like 3 naira, it's going to affect the outcome. So that's it. So in the times of downturns, dividends yields usually go down. So you have to take that and also avoid the traps of high high yield and all that because it's usually not being able to sustain. Even if you have to do a high yield, maybe for some time and all that, just make sure you minimize as much as possible the risk and all that. So then don't over concentrate in one sector. Don't over concentrate in REITs or don't over concentrate in maybe energy or this high T or this AI and all that. We understand that okay, so you don't know what the next Tesla is, you don't know what the next Amazon is. So just don't be doing gamble with your added money and all that. Just try and diversify as much as possible, diversify your portfolio. Now you need to understand that dividend investing takes time. And I think that's the patience that people don't have. Like it takes time. It's dividend investing isn't about getting rich overnight. It's about building consistent income and long-term wealth. It's about building consistent income and long-term wealth. You can't get rich overnight with dividend income. So if you want to get paid every month, even after you stop working, build a dividend portfolio. Building a dividend portfolio is a powerful strategy. Sincerely speaking, I've known of, when I was still very young in my career, I know of people that come to the bank with their dividends, they can come with stack. As at then, it wasn't even e-payment and all that. And you wonder, oh God, these guys and all that. We didn't even know what those things were then until much later because I was still very young. But building this thing, even after your generation has gone, because it's a continuous payment. Your generations after you, your children will eat from it. The generation after you will eat from it because it will keep generating. See, like Coca-Cola, like Pepsi Cola, they have been paying for 50 years, like last like 2 generations. They have been paying over the years. So even if the owner, the person that bought those shares, maybe have gone and all that, the children will still continue to earn from those stocks. Is as good as it's a very powerful strategy. Apart from your retirement income, it's even a generational wealth. It's a tool for building generational wealth also. So if this video has helped you, hit the like button, subscribe, and for more of the fire and income strategies and all that. Thank you so much for sticking around. I enjoyed myself. I hope you did also. See you in the next video.